The last thing I want to catch on, if that's all right, Gav, obviously you can put your 2 pence in about this, is I don't know if you've seen it, but it seems like every single journalist from pretty much Sunday to at least Thursday since I saw it has all put out their comments supporting David Moyes. And then to make injuries worse, David Moyes then on Friday came out on his pre-match conference, I know everyone saw, going something along the lines of, not verbatim, is I don't think that West Ham fans are entertained, but the West Ham manager that's right here has won more than every other West Ham manager.
Yeah, I heard that.
I just want to read out a couple of names that have backed him, if that's all right. You've got Andy Goldstein, Jim White, who's just a clickbait merchant. He doesn't know what he's on about, and Robbie Savage. I could be wrong, but I actually wanted your opinion, Gavin. Were these the same people that probably backed Wenger when Wenger was in a bit of a? I'm not putting them in the same boat. I'm just wondering whether they're always steady eddies or whether they actually ever thought about themselves.
Personally, I can't. I want to say Robbie Savage was one of those who are going, I think the whole regime against Wenger towards his end his tenure is unjustified. They need to remember. I get it, and I agree with West Ham fans, and I agree with Moyes to some extent. He has given West Ham fans one of the best experiences I've ever had of winning a European competition. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. You can't. This is the problem with Wenger, and this is where at the time I was sitting on it. Wenger gave us the best experiences in his early years. Invincible season, getting to Champions League finals, winning the league, doing all this. But when it got to the nitty-gritty end of it, he should have left. This way Sir Alex Ferguson left. He knew it was time to go. He left on a high. If you stay an extra couple of years after you're not wanted, you're going to get the sour taste in fans' mouth where they're going to start wanting you out, not asking you to leave. They're going to jail. Remember this. I don't think it was the manager. I think it was actually the higher ups. Did you just not stop a game or go on the pitch or something? Was it Burnley?
Burnley 5 years ago.
You're going to get stuff like that. So I don't understand why managers go, oh yeah, I mean, we're not doing well just so far, but I've done this. You've done this, so fuck off now. Let somebody else come in and kind of take over and go higher and bigger.
Go on, Ben.
What I've seemed to notice, and it's fucking me off a lot actually, is it's not just the attitude on TikTok. It's not just the attitude from the media as well. It seems to be combined. Moyes has won loads. He's an experienced manager, so you should just shut up and put up with it. No. And especially with some of the TikToks we put out. So every team, in my opinion, should aspire to do better. Yeah? That's the whole point. Because if you're just going to be happy where you are and shit the bed, you're just pallets, basically. So for me, you should always be aiming to improve. But
I mean, they did sack their manager, but
the comments on, especially West Ham themed videos, seem to be, we'll deal with it. Be happy with what you've got. Surely we should be pushing to get better. Yes, we've won a European trophy. It's our first trophy in 40 odd years. Brilliant, right? But we came close to relegation last year. We're now playing shit football again. We've now got Europe coming up as well. Moyes has played shit consecutively for the last 4 or 5 games now, and we just seem to be constantly told, "No, you play. You're West Ham."
It's not been 4 or 5 games though, Ben. This is what I want about. It's been so. Gavin will remember this because me and Gavin, we had pretty much every weekend in the pub, and West Ham were on quite a lot of the TV at the time. But the game that I last remember where we were actually West Ham, I think it was 4-1 at Villa Park. It was just before the Frankfurt semi-final in the Europa League. So that was just before the complete. In my opinion, we haven't been the same team since then. And I know a lot of people are going to turn around and go, oh, you had a brilliant start to the season. If we're all very, very honest with ourselves, we've beat a lot of teams based on being solid and individual brilliance. I think you've seen it with Paqueta being out. We don't have it at the moment. We don't have that ball up there now, so we aren't scoring. My thing is that hasn't been 6 months. I know a lot of people don't follow West Ham's going to think that was just last year. It wasn't. I think that was the spring of 2021 or 2022. It's been a long time since we've been actually what I'd call a good Moyes team. We don't defend particularly well now. We don't press well. We don't have high energy levels. We punt the ball up to Bowen, hoping for the fucking best. And my thing is, it's like what you said with Robbie Savage going. Robbie Savage went. West Ham fans are asking for De Zerbi. Right. Firstly, we're not asking for De Zerbi. What we're saying is Brighton got a new manager in, and they are doing better than what they were doing with Potter. What is wrong with taking a gamble? You've got multiple stories in the Premier League right now where they took a gamble. Villa weren't happy with Gerrard. They got Emery in. Arsenal weren't happy with, was it Emery, Gav, before Arteta? Weren't happy with Emery. Guess
It was
what?
Emery
They
that
got
Lundberg
Arteta in. All right. They're trying to find their way to challenge, but they're trying to challenge. You've got Brighton's done it. You've got a couple of teams in the Premier League. Well, you got Newcastle. Literally, as soon as you've got new ownership, thingy off. Yeah, what I mean is though, just like
if you actually look back at it, Liverpool took a gamble on Klopp, and look what's happened. I'm not saying that you're going to get rid of Moyes and get the fucking next Klopp and win the league and do this and that. But look at Liverpool. They gambled on Klopp. Klopp was good at Dortmund, but he wasn't prolific. He's in Liverpool's went, Kenwell, he might do well at us. They've got him in. They've won the Champions League. They've won the Premier League in God knows how many years it was. They've won countless trophies. They're constantly challenging for the top spot, except for last year. Why? This is the thing that pissed me off with this whole thing this week. Is it feels like football fans or club fans should not have an opinion. You should not have an opinion on what's best for the club. Because we don't run the club. We don't.
Well, it's because you haven't played the game, Gav. It's because you haven't played the game. You're not allowed an opinion.
It's stupid. Like, I don't need to know fucking anything how to run a football team, but I know not to put fucking Havertz in fucking goal.
Yeah.
I know what makes a good manager. I know what doesn't make a good manager. Moyes in his day, he was a decent manager. He was a decent to good manager.
But you hit the nail on the head.
Nowadays,
in his day.
he's not. He's not there now, and I'm not comparing him to the Wengers, and Sir Alex Ferguson's, but they were the best in the league. They were the best for years. Sir Alex Ferguson left, and United fans didn't hate on him. They knew he was going to go fine. From then to when Arsene Wenger left in about 2018, Arsenal fans turned sour and we wanted them to leave. At the start of it was, please just go. Then it went to the banners. Then it went to being publicised on AFTV and stuff like that. We don't want to do that. We want the club to listen to us. We want to have an input. We don't want to run the club, but don't speak down to us and go, West Ham fans want De Zerbi. It's not the fact we want De Zerbi. We want to be successful. We want to be a good football team now. We don't. I just think you could look literally,
even if you don't want to go on the continent, because I have a big problem sometimes about going for random continental managers, right? But my thing is if you go just in England right now, I would take Gary O'Neill, the geezer at Bournemouth, or Thomas Frank. No, the thing is, I think Potter's probably in at Man United if Ten Hag gets sacked. But yes, I would take Potter. My point is, and they all play better football. And if you look at Gary O'Neill right now, he's got a worse team, and I think he's 4 points off us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what? And Moyes' way is he's changed his stance, because when he came back, he went, "Let me get it solid, working from the back upwards, and then we'll start playing actual nice football." And then every Everton fan turned around when he came back on a permanent job and went, "Yeah, good luck."
For me, it's the complacency. It's the put up and shut up. And I agree with you. I think Moyes does need to go. And I would take. There are a couple of other managers I would take right now. I do. I just think we need to change, because I think you're right. I think the way it's going, in what? How many points are we above from dropping down in the second half of the table?
Well, no, I think you've got, if you lose this weekend against Brentford, and one of the teams below us gets a draw, two of the teams below us gets at least a point, we're down, mate. We're down to 11th or 12th.
For me, he should have been sacked after the Arsenal
you're not getting.
He should have been gone.
Mate, but my problem is, it's like 2 seconds, Gavin. It's like where you turn around, and this is what I was asking about Wenger, right? Because I remember Wenger getting a bit snippy with Arsenal fans towards the end and going, "Oh, remember what I've done," and everything like that. And you're like, that's credit in the bank, mate. But Wenger's credit in the bank compared to Moyes' is not the same.
No.
Moyes won a European Cup. I will remind everyone, we were the worst team in that final.
Yeah.
I know people are going to go, you don't play in finals to win them, but that's fine. We had a terrible season. He probably should have just been, that's a cup. See you later. Enjoy your year. That's done. And I just think we're so short-sighted. As well, Gary O'Neill got sacked off Bournemouth that summer. I would have took him straight away.
Yeah.
No, did he get sacked or did he leave? Was it sacked?
Well, sorry. He didn't get kept permanent, and then they signed that
Yeah.
Spaniard.
That went that done well.
I just think we need rid, but the media protects him, mate. Jim White, who, by the way, is a total wanker.
It's not
just
just David
up.
Moyes.
No, he's absolute thief for the West Ham.
He loves the West Ham.
He's
such a rim job. He tongue in arse. He is such a fucking mug. Oh, West Ham fans should just be grateful. Fuck off. I'm not being grateful. Getting beat 6-0 at Arsenal, you cunt.
That's the thing that pisses me off. Is it feels like they talk down to through the media. They talk down to us. You shouldn't have your opinion because you don't have a platform to voice it. You then have a platform to voice it. Then you're in the wrong for voicing that opinion because you need to remember what said managers have done for you. And it's the fact of we're not being ungrateful of Arsene Wenger winning the Invincible. We're not being ungrateful David Moyes winning the European trophy. We want what's best for the club, and if that means said manager's out the fucking door, he's out the door. Don't sit there and go, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. We're not calling for his fucking head.
Also,
put it the simplest way, right? Put it the simplest way. Any 2 cents, Ben. Any Spurs fans right now would keep Ange rather than getting Mourinho back.
Yeah.
Because they are playing good football. All right, at times you lose, right? And that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's also as well, they talk down to you because they think like, it's double-sided, right? Because they think, oh, you're a West Ham fan. Put up and shut up. You ain't Man United. And that's fine. But I want to see, I don't mind finishing 11th or 10th or 8th or 9th and having the odd season in Europe. I want to see good football. Slaven Bilic done it for a year and a half at West Ham before he got sacked. Should have got sacked, by the way, in my opinion. But I want to see football where I turn around to say you go to the Emirates every so often and it's a close game and say it's a draw. But say we play off the park. I take that.
Yeah.
See, for me, right, if I pay for a fucking ticket or I buy a T-shirt for my club, I deserve a fucking opinion.
You deserve an opinion anyway, no, but it's not being funny. The geezer who owns us is Welsh.
But what I mean is, right, I'm not having some ex-footballer like fucking Robbie Savage, who, if I buy a ticket, mate, and I'm entitled to a fucking opinion for my club. You can't turn around and just go, you just need to accept it, mate. That's not how this works. The only reason that the club runs is because the fans buy the tickets, we buy the merch. If not, there's no club. You get no money. There is no fucking ivory tower or anything like that. So I don't think you could just tell your fans, oh, you just got to deal with it, mate. I don't be wrong. I don't think we could just get whatever we want because we don't run businesses, we don't run the football clubs.
No, I'm not asking for Pep Guardiola though, Ben.
But just give us a fucking don't treat us like a cunt.
You want better for the club is the thing. We as Jay says, we're not but West Ham fans aren't asking for the Peps. We're not asking for the Champions League. We're asking to be consistently good, play good football, and as Jay said, occasionally get into Europe, get into finals, get into semi-finals. Do that. We're not asking overly much.
I'd like to see, rather than this, because this is going to sound backhanded, is when Moyes leaves, Moyes will leave nothing behind. And when I mean that is when you watch the Mourinho's leave and you watch Conte's leave, they leave nothing behind. When Moyes leaves, I think we've got the second oldest squad in the Premier League on average. When Moyes leaves, if he leaves in the summer, there is a huge rebuilding job to be done around the whole back line, around probably the spine of the team, right? When I mean that, as in for the next couple of years, Moyes isn't going to do that because I'm not being funny, he's not going to be there another 5 years. What I want to see is what Chelsea did, is when they went, we're going to bring Poch in, don't expect anything this year, but he will put a platform in for us to try and up a level. It's the same as what Arteta's done. As much as I don't agree with, as much as I say I don't think he's improved your standing as in compared to Wenger, he's improved your chances that in 3, 4, 5 years, when he leaves and a new manager comes in, if they have the same identity, he already has a springboard into that. It's what Brighton have done. They bring in the right management that make it from this level and up, and then the next manager takes them from there to there, there to there, there to there, and it's like a conveyor belt. It's an actual fucking plan rather than this scattergun panic approach where it's like, oh, we're 13th, let's bring Moyes in for a good half a season, and then fall asleep at football games that I pay 90 quid for